How are you doing?
Well, I mean, I was just talking to you about. I've noticed
about aging.
About aging and how I'm getting more and more hair growing in places I haven't.
Can we talk about my nose hair trimmer?
I mean, that's my. I mean, if you want to,
be a gadget of the month, right?
As long as it's got a some kind of USB technology,
like a smart trimmer.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I wanted to talk about, if you will.
I would love to talk to you about whatever you
like.
Yeah.
We are in an era where nearly everybody I know, it doesn't matter of their age really, including my son, he doesn't do traditional social media, but almost everybody I know is on some sort of social media platform.
Yes.
Facebook, Instagram,
all the kids.
Whatever.
I mean, the millennials are definitely more apt to the new stuff.
And especially now.
Twitter, Instagram, all the other...
Yep. Now that you can't really see a lot of people in person, social media is really the communication tool.
Yep.
For good or for bad, right? Let's be honest.
Yes.
So one of the things I wanted to talk about is safety tips, social media safety tips, and how you can protect yourself online from a social media perspective.
Yeah, I mean, we have a great blog on this too, which is awesome.
Right.
But, when I talk to people about social media and, we do our cyber, presentations for our clients and we have tons of examples for this, but, social media can be very damaging because, you're opening your life to people, right?
It's true.
You're posting pictures, you're telling them where you're going on vacation, you tell them all these different things, but yes, what are the do's and don'ts, right? So one of them is every social media platform has privacy settings. And by default, a lot of those are pretty wide open.
They are. And that's self-serving on the social media platforms.
Oh, sure it is. They're after ad money. That's how social media makes their money.
And in that world, they call it eyeballs. The more eyeballs they have on an ad, or they have in general, the better. So the more wide open the safety settings are.
Of your account. Some of them are, like Facebook has certain default settings where, it automatically, all your stuff is public, where you got to go in there and say, no, I don't want it public. Exactly. I know when I was talking with my son a couple of years ago and he wanted Instagram and all this kind of stuff, you go on Instagram and, depending on, on the settings, but his stuff was all just wide open, like his location, where he was at.
So literally anybody could say, hey, who's this kid? Let me go and that's the danger, right?
And that is a big danger.
Right.
And that goes into another thing of, be very careful of who you're connecting with. It's very easy for anybody to create a social media account and grab a picture off the internet of some Joe Smo and basically, this is a 15-year-old girl, but on the back end of who it really is, it's...
We've all seen the Dateline shit, right?
Oh, yeah. 20, it's the 45-year-old creep that's in his basement,
Can I say something, too? We're all on social media, we're all pushed to get more followers. So the more followers, especially when you're young, it's a big deal, right? The more followers you have, the more social status you have. It's a real thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you're up against this catch-22 situation. I want more followers. I'm going to let anybody who is anybody into my account to be my follower because I've got 5,000 people. I'm cool. We got 10 people. Right. Who's this nerd or whatever.
Yep.
And so we really need to be careful. Like you said, who we let into our account, but we also have to be diligent who we are letting our account from a safety perspective. Like who are these people?
Sure.
Sometimes it's hard to know, like you just said too. But one of the things that I use is an iPhone app. I'm pretty sure they have an Android app as well. They're called Jumbo.
Jumbo.
The cool thing about Jumbo, not Dumbo.
Jumbo.
Although I think it's an elephant.
Has it got big ears?
Yeah, he has big ears.
All right, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Dumbo is probably copyrighted, right?
Ooh, yeah.
Written.
We probably shouldn't have said that. Sorry, Disney.
No, sorry about that. Sorry, Bob Iger, or whoever's running Disney. Anyway, so what it does is you use it to log into your Google account. You use it to log into Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And what it does is it actually will go through and it'll check all this stuff for you. It'll say,
this is a free app?
Free app.
Okay.
There's a paid version, but I've been using the free one for years. Sorry, Jumbo. But anyway, so one of the things it does, like I said, you log in, it does a safety check for you. It says, are you sure you want to allow this to do this? You're like, oh my God, no. So you're like, stop doing it that. And then it'll give you weekly updates.
Right.
If something's changed, if it sees something fishy, it also does dark web searching. It searches your email address and name on the dark web, totally separate topic.
So the dark web versus the light web?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like what is this? Darth Vader versus Luke.
That might be the next topic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Voldemort versus Harry Potter.
Okay.
But anyway, so it's a great app because, a lot of this stuff is so, that's the problem with all these videos we're doing, all these topics we're doing. It's complex. It's a lot. You have your life to live. You're not probably a technology person.
Right.
So you're like, okay, Kevin and Mike, thanks for the tip. I'm going to go ahead and log into all 5 of my social media platforms for the next month and try and figure out the safety stuff.
Right.
Come on, who can have it? Who does that, right? So apps like, I'm not saying Jumbo is the only app. I'm sure there's tons of apps out there.
Oh, I'm sure.
But that's what I use. It's just a really nice app. It just gives you the peace of mind that you're not sharing all your map data in Google. You're not, you're not everybody on publicly can look through your photos on Facebook.
Yep.
Things like that. It's like we need to be aware of what we're not out of paranoia. Not that you're breaking the law.
Right.
It's not about that. It's about you protecting yourself.
Well, protecting yourself, and the big thing that I hear, and now that we're throwing plugs out there for apps, talking about kids and social media. That's a big issue, and one of the apps that I have found that's been very beneficial, and it's monitoring your child's accounts, and it's called Bark.
That's right. Yes, you've told me about
Bark,
this. Yeah.
BARK. And what that is, it's a platform, it's an app that you install on your, parental device or whatever, and then you tie it to all the different accounts that your kids might have. So you're not, I talked to my kid, my son hated it at the beginning, and I'm sure he still hates it, but it's really the protection side of it. I don't see everything that he's talking or posting or any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's not like a big brother like you're looking at every post.
But as soon as you have different settings. As soon as one of his friends starts throwing F-bombs on tweets and all that kind of stuff, I get noticed, right? So then I can have a conversation with my son saying, hey, I know you're not doing this, but come on, is this really, acceptable?
Appropriate?
Appropriate?
Yeah.
And or, there at the very beginning of all this, when my son was very new to social media, he was talking to people. He was reaching out to anybody and everybody.
Because it's fun.
Because it was fun.
And it was challenging.
And he's a young man, so he was reaching out to people saying, how old are you? What do you look like? All these different things. And Bark gives me a notice when that kind of stuff happens.
You're like, whoa.
I'm like, what are you doing, dude? So then I can have the conversation with him of, this is not the best. I know that, that picture looks, she goes to this high school or, that kind of stuff, and you're just trying to meet people. But you really don't know what you're doing. You don't know who you're talking to. Yeah. It's not a good thing to do that, It also helps with location services. So, it'll actually track the phone. So you can see where the phone's at or where your kid's at. It also grabs all the, it can monitor email. It can do all kinds of
stuff. Does it monitor web searches?
Web searches, Google web searches. And it really is, with technology and access that these kids have, unfortunately, nothing is 100% unless you're just not on the internet.
For sure.
Right?
But nobody's not on the internet.
Correct.
That's the problem, right?
And kids are getting these devices younger and younger.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. They're just, these platforms are just opening the world to these kids, and
it's exciting for them. Let's be honest.
Well, it's like, exciting
wow, this
because,
is awesome.
Well, that and I hear it from my kids. Well, that's how we communicate. That's how we, Snapchat, and we don't me and you, we would fight over with our brothers and sisters for the phone, right?
Or the 2 channels we had.
Or on TV, right? But
right?
With
exactly.
Flashbacks having to walk up to the, where's the remote?
Yeah.
Here's the needle nose pliers.
Yeah.
Turn the...
Well, the youngest person is always the channel changer.
Yes.
Right. Anyway.
That wasn't me, unfortunately, or fortunately. But yeah, I mean, these, the social media and the platforms, we just need to protect them and have the conversations. It's not taking stuff away from them. I think that parents need to do themselves a favor and their kids a favor by educating themselves on what's out there and what's going on. I am no way an expert in any of this because it changes so fast. And, I'll see, one of the cool things about the Bark app too that was nice is anytime an app gets installed on the phone, I get a notice. And then I can either approve it or not approve it. So then that gives me an opportunity to say, what is this? My son, downloads stash investment app. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Do you have any money? I appreciate your interest in investments, but do you have any money? What do you, so then I can have the conversation with him.
That's interesting.
So,
Well, one of the things I want to talk about too, Kevin, not to cut you off, is that, so let me tell you a quick story. So over the holidays, one of my family members came into town, and he's sitting there, or I'm sitting on the couch. Actually, he's in the office doing something. I'm sitting on the couch watching TV, and I get a message from him that says, "Hey, watch this YouTube video. It's really awesome." And I'm yelling in the other room, like, "Tom, why did you message me on Facebook?" He's like, "I didn't."
Right.
I was like, "Oh dear." So I walk in there. He logs into Facebook in the office. He literally somebody hacked into his account while he was in the office, messaged everybody he knows, and if somebody clicks on the YouTube link, they're hacked.
Right.
So I quickly walked him through it. I showed him what 2-factor authentication was.
Multi-factor authentication.
Multi-factor authentication. I helped him hook that up. I helped him to get his password changed. I told him the importance of really having a password manager because, he probably has 5 passwords like everybody does. Anyway, so that's just a quick story about the importance also of multi-factor or 2-factor authentication on social networks as well.
Yes.
Because people are hacking into this stuff constantly.
Yeah.
You just don't realize
sit there
it.
And, guess away. Well, there's software programs.
No, you don't.
No one's actually doing it.
You don't need to guess.
No.
Let's be honest.
Software and now with computer processing and all that, it's just sit there and hack away at thousands of accounts at one time until they get a hit, and then they're done. So yes,
I think we've done a video, if I remember right, about multi-factor authentication and the importance of it. And we're not just, sometimes we sound like we're preachy, and maybe we are because this stuff is so important. We're just trying to protect you guys from really yourselves on some level.
Well, education.
And it's an education because it's like only in your best interest to do these things. Sometimes security is a pain in the butt. Let's be honest.
Yep. It's a pain in the butt until it happens to you, and then you're like, you know what? Which is more of a pain in the butt? Getting out of someone hacking into your account and sending all this stuff, or getting your credit card and doing all this, or taking a little bit extra time to educate what security tools are out there, and managing it that way instead of managing the aftermath, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, well, we're getting long on this.
Yeah. So, but the importance of social media safety cannot be understated. You need to get into it. The social media platforms default at open. Just remember that. So get in there and change
I hope they change it. I hope that the platforms change.
Won't.
But
anyway.
Thank you, guys. Please subscribe to our channel. If you want to see new stuff, if you want to see other topics, please put it in the comments. But we're really, really glad that we're with you today.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Stay tuned. Bye, guys.